Hi, my name is Amanda Pilgrim. I'm here on behalf of John Paul Mitchell Systems and Cosmo Prof, and I'm here today to talk to you about the smoothing category in the Paul Mitchell brand and to teach you the Fernanda haircut. So on my lovely model here, I have half of her head done just to save some time, but I'm going to go over the entire technique with you guys just to make sure that you understand what we're doing and what we're going to achieve. So a little bit about myself before we get started. I've been doing hair for 6 years now, and I have been in a Paul Mitchell focus salon for 4.5 years, almost 5. My mom and I own a salon together, and it has been very successful. And now I'm just looking forward to pushing myself further in my career of doing hair. So to get us started today, what I did is I took my lovely guest to the shampoo bowl, and you can see the side of her head is still wet just so that you can see me do the cut like you would in the salon. And what we did is we shampooed with our Super Skinny shampoo. It's a color safe formula, so it's good for use every day, and it's made for guests that have unmanageable ruly hair. So what it does is it's infused with the Super Skinny complex. So the Super Skinny complex goes into the hair and helps push those water molecules out to help reduce your drying time and your styling time, and it helps create more manageable hair. So we went in with our shampoo, and then after we shampooed, we went in with our Super Strong treatment. So what this does is it helps wrap around every single hair and rebuild the strength from the inside out. So it's going to help repair and prevent further damage, and this you would use as a weekly treatment. So after the shampoo, we put it on her hair and we let it sit for about 5 minutes before rinsing out. And this is a really quick additive onto any service that you do because it's only a 3 to 5 minute treatment. If you have somebody that has a little bit drier or more brittle hair, you can put them under the dryer for about 15 minutes with this product. What it does is it's going to help improve the elasticity of the hair, as well as the strength, and help prevent and repair any damage due to chemical processes or heat styling. So that's what we did before for our preparation of our model here. So now what I'm going to do is we're going to go in and we're going to do the Fernanda haircut. We've already cut it to the desired length here, so we've already decided that. And what it is, the Fernanda cut is a cut with concave layers. So rather than pulling the hair out and keeping it parallel to the head, we're lifting it up and over directing it to create concave layers. So if her hair was to flip upside down, we would see a bowl shape. So what this is going to do is it's going to help remove weight in very thick hair and help create a little bit more movement. But this haircut is something that you can use on guests with thicker or finer hair, and all you have to do is adjust your elevation and your hand angles. So we've already got this side cut, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get into this side of the haircut. And what you're going to do is you're going to start with the center part and comb it over, and what you're going to do is on every side you're going to take diagonal vertical sections back, and you're going to section it off just above the ear. And I'm just going to lower her down here so I can get the right body positioning and get my scissors ready. So vertical diagonal section back. So we're going to do each side in about 4 sections, and we're going to take our subsectioning here. So what we're going to do is we're going to elevate this all the way up, and we're going to over direct forward. And each section that we take, we're going to connect section 2 into 1, and then when we go to section 3, we're going to drop our first section. So I'll just turn to the side here so that you can see the sectioning that we're doing. So this will be our first section, then 2, 3, 4, and then we'll do 5 to connect both sides of the haircut. So what we're going to do, just to create the proper body positioning for this cut, is for this side we're going to stand in front of our guest, and the other side we stand behind our guest, just so that we have the same body positioning for each side. And what we're going to do is we're going to comb up, and my final comb here is going to come right from the scalp, just to make sure that it's all in where we need it. And I'm going to take just a tiny little section from our first section on the other side, just to connect it and make sure we're cutting it all at the same length so that we can marry the sides together. So once you get there, you're going to take your shortest point into your fingertips and elevate your angle directly up. So what this is going to do is help create the concave shape. So now that we're in the right body position here, we're just going to get rid of all of this hair all the way up. So we're going to cut that all off, and we're going to comb it down. So that is our first section. And now what I'm going to do is we're going to take section number 2, and we're going to take our same subsection as section 1, we're going to over direct it forwards and up, combing section 2 into section 1. We're going to put the shortest part in our fingertips, raise our elbows, and get rid of that hair. Alright, pull that back down. So now we're going to take our third section and take our subsection as well. And for this one, we are going to drop section 1 and leave that down because we're combing 3 into 2. Let me just clean up my sectioning here. Alright, so section 3 into section 2. We're going to elevate and comb it forward, and my final comb before I cut is going to be right from the scalp to make sure that we have every hair in there that we need. Shortest piece in the fingertips, and elevate the elbow. So with this body position, you want to make sure that the tips of your fingers are pointing right into the middle of her head. Every single time you want your fingertips pointing to her head. Alright, so that's section 3. I'm going to do section 4. Take our subsection, making sure that I'm dropping section 2, and we're going to over direct and elevate section 4 into section 3. Same thing, shortest piece in the fingertips, lifting the elbow and cutting that hair off. So this technique is going to create really beautiful, beautiful concave layers. And then we're also going to blend it into the back section here and then do some really beautiful face framing layers in the front. So now we have section 5 and section 4. We're going to elevate all the way up and over direct 5 into 4. Let's make sure we get all this in there that we need. Once again, your shortest piece in your fingertips, elevating the elbows and getting rid of those pieces. So now that we're done our 5 sections on the side, what we're going to do is we're going to marry the 2 sides in the back. So what that means is we're going to take section 5 from our left-hand side and section 5 from our right-hand side, and we're going to do the same sectioning. We're going to take our subsection and we're going to elevate upwards, but we're not going to over direct. So same thing, shortest piece, elevate the elbow, and get rid of those few little pieces. For the most part, we were good on keeping those sides even. Alright, so now that we are done the concave layers throughout, what we're going to do, I'm just going to pump my lovely guest up here. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take a section just behind the ear, and we're going to comb this stuff forward because we're not going to worry about that right now. What we're going to do is we're going to take this quadrant and we're going to blend the concave layers into the perimeter length. So we're going to take a section, I'm just going to come to this side here so you can see better. We're going to comb it back. So this is the part now that determines where the weight of the haircut is going to sit. For somebody with finer hair, we want to keep it a little bit lower so that we keep the weight around the perimeter. Whereas with somebody with fuller hair, like my beautiful guest here, we're going to elevate it just a little higher because she's got a lot of beautiful hair. So we're going to connect those two pieces and we're just going to get rid of that corner piece there. So same thing, we're going to do this quadrant in probably 3 sections. So section 2, we're going to pull it back, we're going to elevate it a little bit. And we're going to get rid of those little pieces in there. And our final section, we're going to do the same thing and get rid of those little pieces in there. So now that is it for the back. What's really nice about this haircut is you're not going to end up cross-checking and cross-checking your haircut. So it's going to save you a lot of time behind the chair when you're cutting with a guest, which is really nice, especially for somebody that has a full book, to not have to go over your haircut over and over again. So now that we're done the back, we are going to do the front. So what we do with the front here is we're going to take a crescent-shaped section. I'm just going to wet her down here a little bit in the front, just so that we can keep the same tension of hair and make sure it's the length that we want it. So we're going to take a crescent-shaped section in the front, just a little bit. It doesn't need to be too big. And same with on this side, we're going to take a crescent-shaped section. Okay, so you're going to end up with a moon-shaped section in the front. We're going to comb these forward, and we're going to pinch them together. So with pinching them together, when we cut, it's going to make a nice crescent shape, so to start our beautiful face framing layers. So we already decided on the length of the very first layer, but for your guests, you're going to want to cut it between about nose and chin length, depending on the length of their hair already, and if they don't want bangs in their face driving them crazy. So what we're going to do with this section is we're going to take our scissors and we're going to point cut into them so that it's nice and textured. Because we already cut this, we don't really need to cut it, but I'm just demonstrating so you guys can see what we're doing. Alright, so now we're going to comb that back over. And what we're going to do is we're going to take the section that we had parted at the back of the ear,